If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this.
Saw my brother and best friend having sex. It's ridiculous. So I'm a 19-year-old girl. Yesterday I caught my brother 23 having sex with my best friend 19, and I'm having some incredibly mixed feelings everything that has happened. For starters, I'm absolutely happy that both my brother and amazing friend have love for each other. But unfortunately, I feel betrayed, and it's pretty ridiculous that I'm even feeling that way towards what they were doing together. My parents have been gone for a week now since they are taking a vacation. They wanted some time away from all the work. My older brother, who has his own place, was super excited about our parents being on vacation, because he really wanted to spend time with me. He had fun things planned out, had a spare bedroom ready for me, and he was just super excited to spend time with his little sister. My brother is an insanely sweet and incredible human being. I'm blessed to have someone like him by my side in my life. He's protected me, loved me, and has been by my side when there was no one there for me. He may be just 4 years older than me, but he's like a father figure to me, and I love him with all my heart for the great man that he is. Because I think of him highly, him having sex with my best friend makes me feel betrayed and quite backstabbed. I asked if my friend Katie if she'll like to stay over with my brother and I for a few days. She was very excited, with one huge reason being she's always been in love with my brother. One thing to know about Katie is she's autistic. Let me start by saying, I don't want to offend anyone when talking about Katie. I love Katie and have known her for 14 years. She's like a sister to me and such a funny, gorgeous, precious and sweet person to be around. She sometimes doesn't act her age. She can be very childlike, and depending on who she's with she can be really shy. She also has a huge curiosity and sometimes can drift off because of it. Moments like this I sometimes worry about her getting hurt, but fortunately she doesn't. With my brother, she's the most energetic girl in the world. She's very comfortable and happy with my brother, who has also known her for 14 years as well. Just like how he is with me, my brother has also loved and protected Katie so much. He even punched her ex-boyfriend in the face for calling Katie a waste of time because she was autistic. My brother has no respect for men that treat women poorly, so he's defended Katie. Compared to everyone in Katie's life, my brother has never treated her differently due to her autism. I already know Katie has a crush on my brother, especially with her blushing head to toe every time she's near him. My brother may not admit it, but I know he too loves Katie. Well, Katie came over and the three of us all had an amazing time together. We went to go eat, went to some arcades, watched a movie, and we just really enjoyed finally being together again. My brother kept it very respectful with Katie, but also was very flirty and teasing her the entire time they were together. It was super cute to see them being happy, but I'll admit I wasn't used to seeing my best friend and brother being so friendly with each other. Either way, I didn't say anything or stepped in. They were very happy together. I didn't want to spoil the moment. We ended up going back to my brother's place at night, spent some more time together playing games, and eventually we all went to bed. Katie and I of course slept in the same bed in my room, and that was pretty much it for that night together. In the morning though, I woke up and saw Katie wasn't by my side. I sorta panicked and got a little scared, kept thinking, I hope she's okay, because Katie's curiosity at times goes overboard. I worry she can hurt herself. I looked all over and couldn't find her, but heard some noises coming from my brother's room. I unfortunately took a peek into his room to see what was going on. Him and Katie were having sex. WTF. I was shocked, so I quickly and silently left back to my room. I'll be honest, I started to cry for like 20 minutes straight. I don't know why I did cry, but I felt hurt seeing them together the way I did. After hearing them giggling for some time, I went back to sleep and slept until Katie woke me up to go out and get food. Her and my brother acted so casually, like if nothing happened at all. I still haven't processed anything that I saw completely, so I was trying my best not to make it so obvious that I knew something. My brother of course had more exciting things planned for the three of us, and that's exactly what we did. We went to go eat and off we went to have more fun. I couldn't enjoy it completely, I still felt hurt and a little sad. I even heard Katie and my brother call each other, love, and, babe, a few times as well, but it was pretty obvious they were trying to keep it to themselves. Look, I feel ridiculous for how I'm feeling about all of this. I thought it was so sweet seeing them flirt and tease each other, but them having sex. That's when it all felt real, that's when it hit me with the thought, wow, they actually really do like each other. I want Katie to be happy, and I know 100% she's safe and being treated with so much love by my brother. I know my brother will never hurt her, ever. But I feel betrayed. Why do this behind my back? It feels so secretive and wrong. If the both of them told me they wanted to be together, I'll be happy. It's all about communication, and they didn't communicate with. I'm not mad that they had sex, I'm mad because they're doing this in a secretive way. I wish they were more honest with me about their love. I wouldn't be mad because I'll root for them. But they weren't honest, which makes me upset. I know I should be happy, but I'm just upset. I wanted to ask you all, how can I get over this? I know it's ridiculous to feel this way, and I just want to move on from it. Or better yet, should I tell them I saw them having sex? I don't want to do anything inappropriate or sudden, and I don't want them to feel like they did something wrong, because they didn't. I'll really appreciate some honest advice. It'll be super helpful, and it'll definitely help me move forward without saying or doing anything stupid. Found out my boyfriend pays for OnlyFans. So this all started about a week ago. We have been together for about 7 months. I literally moved to a different state to be with him, and we've been together every day since. Most things in our relationship were good, except I had been cheated on in a past relationship and had some trust issues, but was very upfront from the jump and told him things I didn't like. For example, following random girls on Instagram, or liking bikini lingerie pictures of girls is practically cheating to me, because why do you need them to know you like it? After him slipping up a few times, and being very weird about giving me his password when he had mine since the day we started dating, I decided to figure out his password and go through his phone. The first night I got on it, I literally just wanted to go through his likes and see, but when I opened it, it was on a fake page that he said he used to plan his Instagram feed. I go to the saved and see thousands of pictures of random girls, and girls we know, saved on his phone. Some of them sexual, some of them weren't. I could care less if he watches porn, and wouldn't even be as annoyed if it was random girls, but the fact that it's people we know and see is really disturbing to me. My heart completely broke. I never thought I would see that. I confronted him that night, and we had like a 6-hour conversation about it. He said to him it was just porn, he never really thought about it like that and didn't think it would hurt me. I pretty much told him I was leaving him, but after our conversation and watching him delete everything in the account, I told him we would have to work really hard to come back from this. 2 days later I get curious again and want to check if it's deleted, but I do admit, I started to go crazier than I already am and started checking everything. I found out he has fake emails, a fake Twitter, Reddit account. I found out he has an OnlyFans account, where he subscribes for free and pays for. I stupidly didn't log into the account, so I wasn't able to see if he had messaged anyone, but I did see who he had subscribed to, and some of them were the same people we know. One of the emails said one of the girls that we know had sent him a message, and he said that doesn't mean he messaged her, something about it being a message to everyone. He again said it was just porn to him, he didn't think that this was something you're supposed to tell your girlfriend about, etc. I'm crushed because the last few months I've been paying for mostly everything since he's self-employed, and the fact that he chose to spend his money on other women is killing me. I can't even look him in the eye. I don't know what to do anymore. I've established myself out here with a job and everything. I don't want to go back, but I don't know if I can do this any longer. Anyone think I'm being crazy or insecure? I know porn is normal, but this. Just want thoughts or advice on this situation, please. My husband sleeps in a separate room daily. Now I like my male coworker. Am I wrong? 36F here, been married for 16 years now, with a kid. Our marriage was good to begin with, but since the birth of our kid 10 years now, he slept in a separate room. That tore me apart for some reason. I felt left out, physically and emotionally. I begged and pleaded, but he said it doesn't matter as long we love each other. I am a clingy person, I need to feel the hugs, the warmth of my soul. But no. This led to slow death of our sex life, of course, and now with life's issues, there's no sex. I have asked, begged, but he's always rejecting it. Too tired, no mood, work stress. Resulting to countless fights and resentment on my side. There's no more physicality in our rela, and I crave that. It's BS. No touch, no hugs, nothing. I'm a wild child at heart, love music, dance and going out, and he doesn't at all. Fast forward. I have this male colleague at work, who I had feelings for off and on, but never said anything cause I'm married and he's engaged with 2 kids. I respect him as he's my senior and a mentor, but my marriage issues led me to open up to him about our fights and more, and I started enjoying time with him. Now after 6 months of talking, we ended up hugging, then one day kissed, and finally after months decided to book a room. I wasn't feeling guilty cause I know I have asked my so a million times and I have needs. Sex with AP was average, but I loved being held, being valued and wanted. My relationship is getting worse at home, with so accusing me of not doing wifely duties. I work full-time and run a business and not looking after him. Lol. I tried making amends to keep the peace in the house. I do 90% of the housework already. But now I'm beginning to think to leave him, but the thought of having my child go through this is ripping me apart. I also come from a very cultural background and a huge family where separation is considered bad, and I'll have a lot of explaining to do. No sex will not be considered a reason, and everyone will turn against me. I look at my child and him playing and feel shit to even think of leaving. Our finances are good if we are together, and that's another reason to think about. One part of me says do therapy and try and fix this, another fed up of this BS. And anyone here who's from a traditional background who had the courage to have a straight up talk to so, or call it quits. How do I do it, or do I stay? Cheated on by my ex, abused by my current-ish partner. Firstly, revisiting and rereading my posts from 2 years ago is slightly sickening. I fear I have fallen into another toxic situation. I feel like I should be really taking responsibility and perhaps seeking therapy. In brief, I am currently on a break, but I intend to end the relationship in the next few days. I felt so good after leaving my cheating ex. I reopened heart and fell in love again. Now here I sit looking for support, in walking away from a very damaging and toxic relationship. This may be a pattern, sadly. So just under 2 years ago I walked happily away from my high school boyfriend. At the time, I'd left him and been traveling for just over a year, then returned to him to try and patch things up. Which I quickly realized wasn't going to work. It took some time to convince myself that my happiness was more important than his, and to shake off the feeling of guilt and worry at what may happen if I actually just followed what I felt in my gut. I can see from my previous posts that I promised myself I would take it all as a lesson, and that I'd listen to my gut, and start living my life. The following is what has happened since then, if anyone wishes to read on. I reconnected with an acquaintance I'd met working when I was 21, I'm 30 now. At the time, he was around 17-18 and we got on well enough at work. In retail he was always very good looking and easygoing, but I didn't view him in any romantic type way, not least because I was in a committed relationship at the time. Fast forward 8-ish years and I'm enjoying my newfound freedom. I'm guilt-free and working on myself, practicing yoga and meditation and generally enjoying life. I pop myself back on social media, get a like notification on an uploaded photo and see this old friend. I took the initiative to message them, and he was instantly flattering. He'd noticed me all that time ago, thought I was cool, etc. I took this all with a pinch of salt, not seeing how I'd be anyone to notice, but one thing led to another and we went on a date. The chemistry was fantastic, he was kind, full of compliments and made me laugh. He had his own style and matched my interests and worldview. It seemed truly perfect. Very early on in dating, it appeared he maybe drank too much. He'd sometimes open up and be very emotional, but I was happy to listen and support. He told me all the worst things about himself, one of them being that he'd cheated on his most recent ex. I admired his honesty and ability to take responsibility and fell quickly and totally in love. We moved in together only a couple months into dating. Once we lived together, it became clear his issues ran a little deeper and he had a drinking problem. He showed a scary side of himself whilst drunk, seeming to lose control of his emotions, and things got broken. He told me he wanted to change, and begged for help. I felt compelled to trust him, that the rage he had could be worked through, that my unconditional love and support could save his life. He had previously attempted suicide. So I sat with him as he drank and cried, and listened to repeated stories of past transgressions and trauma. I let him grill me on my previous sexual partner's questions, and I let his harsh judgments of me just slide away. He'd be nasty and cruel when drunk, but would wake up the next day, and sometimes not even remember what had been said. I put all my focus into helping him, as he'd asked, and eventually he agreed to see a doctor. Somewhere in all this, I can't fully remember the circumstances, he hit me. I'm pretty sure it was a backhand. He's a little taller than me, and very muscly, and had trained to be an amateur fighter at one point. I remember the shock, but it's now such a blur. I mostly remember feeling like I should stay standing but didn't retaliate. Things fizzled down and he probably cried, drank more, passed out. This happened more than once, always when he was intoxicated. Mostly the flat I'd rented for us got things smashed and broken. He always apologized, cried, talked through things and stated he didn't want to be this way. I took it. I tried to move forward, forgive and forget, and just focus on helping this person become who they said they really are and who I thought they were underneath the poison. I shrunk away from my friends and family, worried that he'd drink his life away without me there, but with me there I was at risk of arguments, nasty comments and sometimes violence. Writing this out now I feel so foolish. I guess I was blinded by love. My mother and father had a volatile relationship, and growing up, I witnessed my dad's violence towards his newer partner, and I was always so sure that I would never ever allow myself to be pushed around by anyone. But I also would have thought I'd never forgive someone cheating on me either, which I did. This went on for around 9 months until we moved into a better place. He went back to doctors and started up on medication. We started up his business and pushed full throttle for a healthier, happier life. He'd go weeks at a time, saying he felt lighter, happier and more positive. The process still took its toll on me. I started to feel exhausted, having control of the money, always accompanying him to the shops, and so I let go of some of that control that he'd asked for. Each time, given the chance, he'd drink, or at least it seemed that way. And each time, I'd be a nervous wreck, worried about his possible mood swings and where that could lead, sometimes feeling like my anxiety would even egg that whole situation on. Time goes on, and overall he was much better on a day-to-day basis. But even one drink would lead to the rest of the night, and usually follow into the next day or days. This affected work, our money, my health and mental health. Each of the more recent slip-ups, I'd told him how much of a theoretical slap in the face that choice was to me. And even more especially the danger and risk of arguments due to his intoxicated delusions, which had on occasion turned violent. Each time, we'd talk it through, he'd apologize and just beg that I didn't give up on him. About 2 weeks ago, I had a panic attack and couldn't go to the shop to pick up some essentials. Only I drive, he has a disqualification. I went back inside and asked for him to come with me and go into the shop. I needed help this time. He came out the shop with 2 fruity ciders, and told me not to worry, that it was no big deal and that I should just have 1 bottle with him and try to relax. I was anything but relaxed. The poison that had caused so much damage over the last 18 months, was certainly not what I needed to relax. As with every other time, he wanted more after that first drink. I was impatient, disappointed and refused to go back to the shop. Things escalated and I wanted to leave. When I tried to, he pushed me hard to the floor. I got up and he said I'd gotten in his face. No apology this time, an actual justification. So I left and have been staying at my mom's since. I realize this sounds ridiculous, how it would have lasted even this long. But the in-between times and glimpses of what I felt was his true self, are what have kept me so in love with him. Now I've removed myself, I think that I may have some serious trauma issues. I'm not in any way trying to reduce his actions or blame myself. But if you've managed to read this far, I'd like some opinions on why I have stayed and accepted this sort of disrespect for so long. Any advice would be appreciated. I'm also so anxious to fully end it with him, as I just don't want to hurt him. Which, again, I know sounds outrageous. I'm confused between his actions and words, and moving forward, I need the tools to protect myself from more of this repeated pattern of being emotionally and physically abused.